I also want to talk just a little bit about community, because I know when we were thinking about joining St. Gilbert School, one of the things that really attracted us was the community, right? The community feel. I think any of us know that have sent our children here that it's that parental involvement has a major impact on whether or not the students do well. We wanted our children surrounded by, other people who had a lot of parental involvement. So the community was really important for us. Another thing that's really important for us, I just kind of explained some of the costs and how some of those things are out of our control. One thing that is in our control is volunteerism. The more our parents volunteer, the more we can save money. Again, when I talk about having parents volunteering to wire the whole school, I mean, that saves tens of thousands of dollars worth of expense by not having to pay somebody to come and do the same thing. So I wanted to get a little understanding of how much parental involvement we have, because I like numbers. So these are kind of approximate numbers, but we have about 20 people between the school advisory board and our various subcommittees that volunteer their time to help out. There's about 35 people, or 35 parents that are working through the Family School Association. There's a lot more parents that work in the family school, but there's about 35 that really kind of lead one of the key subcommittees or are really active on the FSA. We have 80 parents that volunteer to coach, which is a huge commitment that they make. And I guess we got about 85 parents that volunteer for lunch duty. So we've got about 200 parents that are actively volunteering day in and day out at the school, which is really wonderful, but it's 25%. I'd always like to see if we could get a little more. And I know when Laura and I first came to the school, we were somewhat concerned because I think if you look and you watch some of these organizations and you see how people kind of interact, they're kind of close. They're kind of tight. So I was wondering whether or not we'd be able to get involved because, who do we have to know in order to get involved with this organization, because they all seem to be friends, and you got to be somebody's friend in order to get in. But that doesn't stop Lori. She loves everybody. So we wind up getting involved, and now what we found through involvement over the last couple of years is that it's true. The people that work on these committees get to be very close and they get to be very tight. But it's not because they were friends when they came in. It's because that common goal of trying to help move the school forward brought them together. And it's that common bond, I think, that really helps build a friendship. So we've got friends I know that we met through the school that will continue long after our kids leave the school. So, I look around the room and a lot of the faces I see at all these different events, so I'm kind of preaching to the choir. But anybody here that's interested in getting involved, I really encourage you to do so because it helps us out, it helps your kids out, it helps the school out, and it's going to help you out too. And since we're talking about community, we can turn it over